game in the bottom of the 8th. That's when the game ended up being called.
Well, they got lucky in a home and home. Two just abysmal defensive errors for the Orleans Firebirds allowed them to make two late inning comebacks for two victories.
Payoff pitch swung on a miss, strike 3, and Chris Galland is unable to drive home the first run of the ball game with Hal Hughes being stranded on second base. We're through 2.5, still scoreless from Red Wilson Field. 0-0 between the Mariners and the YD Red Sox. Back here at Red Wilson Field. And what do you know? We got another pitcher's duel for the Harwich Mariners, as it seems like we've been saying it all season, Tyler, with just how dominant this pitching staff has been for Harwich.
Well, yeah, I mean, again, across the numbers, and I'll run them one more time for you. Harwich is the best team in the league pitching-wise at not allowing hits, runs, earned runs, and they have the most strikeouts in addition to the best ERA and the best whip on the year out of all 10 Cape League teams. The problem is the offense has been lagging behind as they're last in the league in walks, and they're also ninth in the league behind the Bourne Braves in all these categories: hits, runs, doubles, home runs, and RBIs. So, you know, it's an interesting matchup here. This is a team for YD that has the second most runs allowed and the most runs scored. These teams definitely do not play off of each other's strengths. It seems like it's been just the opposite, and it may be just who can get a couple runs to come across here in this one.
So Andrew Eister, the 8-hitter, will lead things off, and he rips a ball into left field for a base hit. So not wasting any time, Eister swings at the first pitch and is able to reach base with the leadoff single to begin the home half of inning number 3.
Yep, and that'll bring up Riley Terada, who's having a really good year here in his own right. Terada this season comes into this game. He's actually only hitting 136, but he has 10 runs scored. That is 4th on the team, so his team has found ways to put him in a favorable position, and here in the 9-hole, he'll get an opportunity to try to make something happen. And Colin, interestingly enough, hitting just 136, he's actually the designated hitter today.
Yeah, something you kind of don't see too often. You usually have your DH as a guy who can really swing it at the plate as the first pitch is in there for a strike, and that's why you don't really see DHs too often at the 9-hole. So, as you mentioned kind of at the top of the broadcast, it was really interesting to see why the Red Sox put a 9-hole DH. We don't see it too often. Not only here in the Cape, but at major league levels as well. As the 0-1 pitch almost comes in and hits Terada for ball 1.
And that's what you can't do right now. You don't want to put him on base, as again, he finds ways to come across the score even when he doesn't get on base all by himself.
Terada, South Bend, Indiana, but he goes to the University of Dayton, an Atlantic 10 school in the state over in Ohio. As we got a check swing. Did he go? The first base umpire signaling that he held up, so it'll be 2-1.
Yeah, so Butler will go back to work here, and that one wasn't that close, so Terada's okay for now. A 2-1 count. Jordan Butler trying to fight his way back. The infield in there at double play depth.
Eister, the runner at first, the 2-1. There's a hanging breaking ball fouled, and that one will just barely make it out of play down the right field line. Last time these two teams played, the Mariners fell short, falling to the Red Sox 3-1 behind a big 2-run home run from Austin Wells in that game. That was back on June 26th. The 2-2. Tapped on the ground, foul on the third base side.
So as this is a makeup game, there are several others going on across the Cape, but not everybody's in action today. Falmouth and Bourne will be squaring off soon. The lineup just announced for the Bourne Braves. Katuitt will make the trip down to Wareham for a west-on-west battle, and then Chatham will head to Orleans. So off days for Hyannis and also for Brewster today, which is a golden opportunity for the Mariners to try to gain some ground on their Eastern foe.
Another 2-2 just misses, maybe below the knees, and some jeers coming from the Harwich Mariners side.
Yeah, Rothenberg holding that pitch there for a long time, just waiting for the call to be delivered, but nothing doing for home plate umpire Mark Delaney, and now it'll be a full count.
Eister at first, nobody out. Payoff pitch, and there's a high pop-up out towards shallow left. Hal Hughes stumbling a bit, and it's actually going to be the left fielder Chris Gallen calling him off for out number 1. Good communication out there by the Mariners.
Yep, but with a runner on base, it'll be the top of the order coming up again. Wyatt Young, Noah Campbell, Austin Wells, and then Riley King, if need be. So it's not going to get much easier here for the Mariners as they will continue to try to prevent a run from coming across.
Wyatt Young 0 for 1 on the ball game with a strikeout back in the first. But again, he's been the team leader in average and one of the league leaders, hitting .361 and 61 at-bats coming into today. And he slices this one out towards left field, but right at Chris Gallen. So Gallen with a couple of putouts this inning, and Eister will have to go back to first with 2 away.
Yeah, but now things a lot less threatening here as the Mariners have 2 away, and Noah Campbell, who flew out to right his first time up, will stand in for a second time today. So one more and they can get out of yet another inning and take this into the second third of the game with a 0-0 score.
Jordan Butler still working from the stretch. Mariners wearing their road navy blues with gray pants. And we've got a late breaking runner. A good throw by Rothenberg, but Eister able to get a good jump in. He's in there at second with a stolen base.
It's a really delayed steal there by Eister. Seemed like he waited forever and kind of caught Rothenberg off guard as he let that one drop. So a runner in scoring position here with 2 away for Noah Campbell.
4th steal of the season for Eister. He's now 4 of 5 in stolen base attempts, and the 0-1 misses low below the knees to Campbell.
Yeah, this team also steals quite a few bags on the season. A couple different guys with 6. You mentioned 5 on the year for Andrew Eister, and then he will join Wyatt Young with 5.
1-1 is in for a called strike. Yeah, Scott Pickler, a big fan of running early and often. Pickler, of course, inducted into the 2019 class of the Cape Cod Baseball